Hey, this is Jonathan Passley, and today is April 19th, 10:33 a.m. And yesterday, April 18th, my wife gave birth to our second son. Yay! Excited, but very tired. For those of you who are parents, you can relate. It is a very energy sapping event, childbirth. So even for the dad, if you're there and you're supportive, because I was right there with my wife, supporting, encouraging her, push, push, push. But yeah, no, I'm tired. I'm tired. But I wanted to shoot this video because God has been doing some amazing things. A lot of great things have been happening, and I want to show you how He's showed up in my life. So, 365 days ago, so last year, April 19th, I was admitted into the hospital because a tumor, one of the tumors on my stomach, burst and I was bleeding and I was throwing up blood. They went in, found tumors on my stomach and in my liver, and, you know, long story short, cancer, right? That was 365 days ago. So what I'm saying is, my son was born 365 days later from the time I was admitted into the hospital. Isn't that amazing? That's just a gift of God. God has a sense of humor, right? Um, so, yeah, in choosing his name, I wanted to choose something of meaning, right? Didn't want to just choose anything. So I chose Caleb. And Caleb meaning um, following God completely. It was somebody who followed God completely. And just to kind of give some backstory, Caleb in the Old Testament, when Moses led the Israelites um, to the promised land, that the land that God promised them, led them from Egypt out of slavery into the promised land, um, where they were right there at the promised land. Um, Moses sent spies in there. It was 12 of them, Joshua and Caleb included. They went over there for 40 days, came back with the report, and they said, hey, look, the place is flowing with milk and honey. It's great. Lots of resources. But, man, the people that are there, they're big, bad, mean. They're giants. They're going to kill us. Um, so the 12 people that came back, the spies, said that, except for Joshua and Caleb. Joshua and Caleb said, yeah, these guys are big and bad, but God promised us this land. So, if God's for us, who can be against us? Like, we're gonna go in there, and God's gonna look after us. He's gonna be, our banner. He's gonna lead us to victory. But again, the other 10, it was like, no, 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 you're trying to kill us, and um, the Israelites weren't feeling that. So God basically punished them. The 10 spies who didn't believe, God gave them diseases and they died, or a plague, they died. And then the rest of the Israelites, God was like, look, well, you guys aren't going to see the promised land, at least this generation won't, maybe your next generation. So for 40 years, they were just wandering in the wilderness. Um, so after that, um, so Caleb, he followed the Lord completely. Caleb and Joshua, along with the next generation of Israelites, went to the promised land. um, so Caleb, someone who followed God completely. I chose that name. That name really resonated with me because I felt like that is what I've had to do in my journey in this battle of cancer. Um, looking online, just throughout this whole journey, there's so much noise. Looking online, you've everybody says something different. Everyone contradicts everyone else. Hey, do Gerson's, do ketogenic diet, do take cannabisol, take this, do this. Oh no, don't eat healthy fats. Oh no, eat healthy fats, or don't do this. It's all over the place, and the doctors are saying something else. Do chemo. No, don't do chemo. But like, it's all over the place. Very confusing. And at the end of the day, I have no idea what I'm doing. I've really had to just trust God and follow God through this process. Now that's my experience. You may listen to this and say, "Oh no, that's no." Hey, that's your experience, but my experience, just sharing my experience and what's worked for me. So I've had to follow God completely, and it's really worked for me, and just reducing my worry and knowing what direction I need to go in. So I couldn't think of a middle name. All right, so that was his first name, Caleb. Middle name I couldn't think of. It literally was like 2 hours ago, um, and which I believe God placed it on my mind. He just whispered it to me because I don't know where it came from. I just heard Nathaniel. Like, it just came out of nowhere. Nathaniel, right? So I'm like, Nathaniel, let me look it up because I don't even know what the meaning is. And Nathaniel means gift of God. I mean, gift of God. And he certainly is a gift of God, because, to be honest, there are times throughout this journey where I didn't know if I was going to make it. You know, cancer is it's a disease, but it is a mind game. Once you get that diagnosis, and some of you can relate that are battling cancer, your mind starts to wander. So this little guy, my little son, is definitely a gift of God, and it's a gift to see him be born and hold him, to be honest, take pictures with him. That's a gift of God. So Nathaniel couldn't be a better name, to be honest. Jesus called him a man of integrity. So yeah, Nathaniel. That's his middle name. It sounds good together too as well. Caleb Nathaniel. But oh, and then also he's the seventh grandchild to, like, my parents. Seventh grandchild to my parents. So the number of completion in the Bible. So, like, there's all these things that just come together that shows me that God is still there with me. He's still riding with me in this journey. He's right there showing me signs. Not to worry, that hey, I got your back, Jonathan. And so for those of you who are watching, maybe battling cancer, maybe going through some challenge or trial or whatever it may be, I can only give you the advice that works for me. And what has worked for me is following the Lord completely, to be honest. Now, it's your life, it's whatever you want to do, but it's worked for me. It has really stopped the worry, given me direction, comforted me in such a trying time. And again, God has given me signs throughout this journey that He's right there with me. Um, so, if you're going through something, what I can recommend is getting closer to Him, having a closer relationship with Him so you can hear His voice, you can hear His direction, because the further that you are away from Him, you can't hear Him. You can't hear Him. So how do you get closer to Him? Read the Word, read the Bible. I like to listen to Tony Evans. He's been a blessing. It helps me because sometimes reading the Bible, for me, I don't get it. I don't understand it. But to have Tony Evans kind of break it down, and then I can read it, and then I understand it a lot better. So you have to figure out what works best for you. So I literally listen to Tony Evans basically almost every day, just to be in the Word, strengthen my relationship, pray every day, and that's really helped me to draw closer to God, have a closer relationship, trusting Him. That's what's worked for me, and I believe it'll work for you. But again, you get to make the decision. So I wanted to share that, just how God is amazing, and how He's got a sense of humor, and how things come together. When you're going through things, you don't know why it's happening or what's going to happen next, but you're trusting God, and you kind of see it through. You're like, oh, I see what you're doing. And, that's kind of how it's been for me. But so that's what I wanted to talk about today. I'm going to go inside the house and grab something to eat because hospital food is disgusting. I'm gonna try not to fall asleep, although I'm tired because I need to get back to the wifey. Take a shower because I'm not taking a shower in the hospital. That's not happening. And get back to the rest of the day. But I hope you watching this, you have a good rest of the day, good rest of the week, and let God guide you through your challenge, your struggle, your trial. He will see you through. I am a testament to it. So, all right, guys. Till the next video.